Isekai is one of those genres where the big names get all the attention, but a lot of genuinely good shows end up flying under the radar. Some of them don't have flashy marketing, some came out at the wrong time, and some just got overshadowed by bigger releases. So for this video, we're taking a look at 6 underrated isekai anime that are absolutely worth watching. These are series that might not get talked about as much, but still deliver solid stories, memorable characters, and worlds that are easy to get invested in. Let's get into the list. Starting off at number 6, we have High School Prodigies Have It Easy in Another World. This series follows 7 exceptionally talented high school students who are suddenly transported to a fantasy world after a plane crash. Each of them excels in a different field, ranging from politics and economics to science, medicine, and combat, and those skills quickly become valuable in their new environment. Instead of focusing on pure adventure or power scaling, the story leans heavily into how modern knowledge can reshape a less developed society. The group doesn't just fight monsters, they influence governments, reform economies, and challenge the moral systems of the world they're in. What makes this anime stand out is its focus on strategy and decision-making rather than constant action. The characters work together to solve large-scale problems, and the show isn't afraid to explore the consequences of using advanced knowledge in a fragile world. While it's often overlooked compared to flashier isekai, High School Prodigies offers a more grounded and thoughtful take on the genre, making it a solid pick for viewers looking for something different. Moving into number 5, we have Restaurant to Another World. This series takes a much calmer approach to isekai. The story centers on a small Western-style restaurant that looks completely normal from the outside, except for one detail. Once a week, its doors open to visitors from a fantasy world. Each episode introduces different customers, from knights and mages to dragons and elves, all brought together by food. There's no grand quest or looming thread. The focus stays on simple moments, shared meals, and the stories behind the people who walk through the door. What really makes the show stand out is its atmosphere. The pacing is slow, the tone is warm, and the food is animated with a level of care that makes every dish feel comforting. Watching characters relax, open up, and find joy through a good meal gives the series its charm. Restaurant to Another World is perfect if you're looking for a cozy, low-stress isekai that feels more like a slice-of-life experience than a fantasy adventure. It's quiet, wholesome, and surprisingly easy to get attached to. At number 4, we have Cautious Hero. The hero is overpowered but overly cautious. This isekai starts when a goddess named Ristarte summons a hero to save her world from total destruction. What she gets is Seiya Ryuguin, a hero with absurdly high stats and overwhelming power, but also paranoia levels that are off the charts. Seiya doesn't rush into battle, doesn't trust easy wins, and refuses to fight unless every possible outcome is covered. He trains endlessly, stocks up on the best gear, and prepares backup plans for his backup plans. Even weak enemies are treated like endgame bosses. What makes the show stand out is how it flips the usual overpowered hero trope into comedy. The contrast between Seiya's strength and his extreme caution leads to a lot of hilarious moments, especially with Ristarte slowly losing her sanity watching him over-prepare for everything. At the same time, the series isn't just jokes. As the story progresses, you start to see why Seiya is the way he is, adding emotional weight beneath the humor. Cautious Hero is underrated because it balances action, comedy, and character depth really well, making it a standout isekai that doesn't play things straight. And that's exactly why it works. At number 3, we have Outbreak Company. This isekai takes a very different route compared to most fantasy power stories. Instead of summoning a warrior or mage, a fantasy kingdom brings in a hardcore otaku. His mission isn't to fight monsters, it's to spread otaku culture. The main character is tasked with introducing manga, anime, games, and Japanese pop culture to a medieval fantasy world that has never seen anything like it before. From printed comics to idol culture, everything becomes a tool to bridge the gap between worlds. What really makes Outbreak Company stand out is how self-aware it is. The show constantly pokes fun at isekai tropes, otaku stereotypes, and even Japan's cultural influence, all while leaning fully into them. It knows exactly what it is and isn't afraid to joke about it. The cast adds a lot of charm, especially the fantasy characters reacting to modern media for the first time. The tone stays light, colorful, and comedic, but there's also a surprising amount of commentary on cultural exchange. influence, and responsibility. Despite only getting one season, Outbreak Company remains one of the most underrated isekai out there, a fun meta take on the genre that feels fresh even years later. At number 2, we have Ixion Saga DT. If you enjoy isekai that don't take themselves seriously, this one is a perfect fit. Ixion Saga DT follows Gong Hokase, a regular high school student who gets transported to a fantasy world called Mira after being pulled through a video game. Unlike most isekai heroes, Gong isn't overpowered, noble, or even particularly motivated. He's loud, selfish, and constantly complaining, which immediately sets the tone for the series. Before he can even figure out what's going on, he gets dragged into a conflict between different factions in this new world. The real appeal of Ixion Saga DT is its comedy. The show leans heavily into parody, mocking classic isekai tropes, heroic cliches, and fantasy logic at every opportunity. Battles turn ridiculous, dramatic moments get undercut by jokes, and nothing is treated as sacred. It's fast-paced, chaotic, and intentionally over the top, making it feel closer to Konosuba than a traditional fantasy adventure. If you're looking for an isekai that prioritizes humor, satire, and pure absurdity, Ixion Saga DT easily earns its spot near the top of this list. Taking the top spot at number 1 is Parallel World Pharmacy. This isekai stands out by doing something most others don't even try. The story follows a brilliant medical researcher who dies and is reborn in a fantasy world as a young noble with godlike abilities tied to medicine. Instead of swords and spells being the main focus, the series leans heavily into healthcare. The main character uses real medical knowledge, modern science, and logic to treat diseases that this medieval world barely understands. Things like infections, epidemics, and improper treatment suddenly become major threats, and he's one of the few who can actually deal with them. What makes Parallel World Pharmacy so refreshing is the contrast. You have magic, nobles, and old world beliefs clashing directly with modern medical practices. Watching characters react to concepts like sterilization, proper diagnosis, and mass-produced medicine adds tension and realism without killing the fantasy vibe. The show also takes its subject seriously. Illness has consequences, mistakes matter, and saving lives isn't treated like a joke. Combined with strong visuals and a slower, more thoughtful pace, it offers a grounded take on isekai that feels genuinely different. If you're tired of overpowered heroes solving everything with brute force and want something smarter and more meaningful, Parallel World Pharmacy absolutely earns its place as the best underrated isekai on this list. And that wraps up our list of underrated isekai anime worth checking out. If you've already seen any of these, let me know which one surprised you the most. If you enjoyed the video, hit like, subscribe for more anime content, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's next. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.